Well, that was an episode. Hi, guys.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
Blood bonds, blood bros.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why is Ollie so against this?
It's kind of like his tale, right? Like he was.
He doesn't want to be like beholden to anyone.
Yeah. To nobody at all. So like,
Is that one of your tenants?
Convictions? Is it one of your convictions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look,
It's not one of my convictions.
You would actually take stains from doing this.
Yeah. Yes, you would. So here's the thing, right? Like, you don't have to take the blood bond. That's not necessary.
Yeah, we could just try and kill/sneak around an all-seeing Malkavian with ghost servants.
Well, you've attempted making some counter offers, but nothing really snatched her attention. You've got a night to think about it.
Yeah, which is good that we actually have a week in between the sessions to think about it, like we would.
Yeah,
in character.
exactly. Because I didn't plan on, unless you guys were like instantly like yes. I did not expect you to give me an answer tonight. I expected you to take some time and think it over, because maybe you guys come up with something that she'll want more. Who knows?
Yeah.
He likes knowledge, so it's like, what can we give her that's knowledge that's better than what she has?
Access to enough. So. Yeah, that's the problem. Getting enough power knowledge is hard. Level 3 blood bond is.
I might have something she would want, but I would not want to divulge that I have information in front of the other people.
You would have to talk to her privately, and I'm sure you could get that if you asked. That's the thing. Like, I hope I made it clear. Through the session is like, she has a vested interest in keeping the Anarchs and the Camarilla at each other's throats. You know what I mean? Like,
I
under the radar.
I think the drama of the blood bond would be hilarious, though. That's why I was like,
it would be great,
especially because of the things that I know. So
it would be phenomenal.
So what was the blood bond order?
You are at the bottom, sir, for a reason.
Saito to Hopkins, Hopkins to Camille, Camille to Zach, Zach to Crazy Malkavian.
Correct.
Powerful lady, Mabob. I don't know her name, and it's driving me insane that I have to refer to her as the other Malkavian.
Mistress Vanessa.
Mistress Vanessa, yeah.
Not Formosa.
Mistress
Is that what you thought he said was Mimosa?
No, I just wrote it down and my handwriting's awful.
Oh, okay. It was kind of one of those moments where I was like, did he purposely write it, or did he purposely do that? Or was that like...
It just worked really nice.
That Josh made.
Yeah.
By the way, all throughout that scene, like, Zach has a leather-bound notebook that he keeps copious notes in all over the place. And I was going to say that he got it out, but as soon as Saito was like, oh, I've got this notebook, I'm like... Zach has it, but he's writing in it under the table because he doesn't want to get his notebook out as well and look like he's copying Saito. Because Saito's actually pissy, so...
I'm actually really glad
needs a note taker.
I'm really glad that Saito used his Auspex and was able to roll enough successes to see the hidden interesting stuff happening.
That was
around
so
her.
creepy.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts.
Yeah, Malkavians, man.
It reminds me of the Ooblex or whatever they're called in D&D, where they have like the trails of like dead people fall.
Oh, dude, I don't. Yeah, the name rings a bell, but they don't. That creature does not.
Yeah, it's so creepy. Like that just is creepy. Like all of it's just creepy.
Yeah.
You have way too much fun describing it, and I love it.
I want to make sure you have a nice. You're seeing what I'm seeing in my mind. You know what I mean?
So otherwise, good. I have the like. That's one of the toughest things for me as a DM is like describing things that I'm thinking in my head.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No.
Yours.
Nope, I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right.
Go.
I'm trying to show a different side of this. It's like the intrigue of being a vampire is really intense, and a lot of people they eat it up. But I'm finding that people are really digging the side of humanity that still lingers in us, even though some of us have obviously embraced it more than others. So it was interesting to sort of divulge the comic book knowledge. I imagine that was one of those things that
I loved it.
Probably didn't see coming.
No, not at all.
And I was trying to play on that because obviously she's got all of these. When you said that she's got a Walking Dead one, I was like, okay, all right. But I can get Kirkman to sign that. Yeah, we can make some things happen here. Yep. So I was like, what could I offer in my position? And in my backstory, which I haven't written, I just haven't had it submitted yet. Ollie, with his son, when his son started coming of age and he started reading, plus with his father, comic books were pretty important. Superman versus Ali was C56, and that was one of the motivators.
That's cool.
So C56 by Neil Adams, 1978 it was a pretty prolific cover. It actually shows Superman in the ring with boxing gloves on, and Ali in like typical pose, like arm wide out.
That's awesome.
So that kind of thing, I figured she may not have something like that.
So what you're saying is that we need to deliver her Stan Lee.
Oh my God!
Don't you know he's already a vampire?
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting, and I was surprised to see so many takes on like blood bonds and Will. What would you like? And there's Oliver, the inquisitive child, like, ooh, I bet you haven't read this one. And I was actually surprised we hadn't tried that up to that point already. Like, why don't we offer her something she doesn't have?
Yep.
So I noticed that when I said that, EE, or I don't remember if it was EE or if it was someone else, was like, what are you missing? Maybe we can get
that was me. Yeah.
Yes.
I was already
I
thinking
was
it
deliberately
anyway.
being quiet because she was staring at me. I was like, I'm just gonna shut up. This is really awkward.
I think from like
She's
Camille's
calling you
standpoint, Camille was just trying to observe and see what was happening. So that's why I was being quiet.
No,
She kind of just doesn't speak up unless she has something worthwhile.
That was one of the
to say.
best negotiations because it went on for a while and it was tense throughout, and we didn't have people like returning to the same things or cross-talking and being confused. Like everyone was genuinely getting more information throughout. We were offering new things, and it was good. And we also felt like this is it was really fun. Just a discussion of like effectively a price for it.
It just makes me wonder how much of the community at this point views Ollie as like Hodor, like this extremely large simpleton. How many of them actually see him as a more than just some kind of like bouncer type that sits at a door? Because I feel like there's more there, appealing to the common man.
There's a lot of people I think mostly in the comment section on YouTube that are like, well, they're not being evil. Like, this is weird. This is not BTM. It's like, if you're just going straight in off the deep end evil, like, that's not of interest to me. I think that applies to a lot of people here. Like, character progression is everything, and VTM is entirely about hi, welcome to being a vampire. Here's your humanity track. This is your character progression.
Yeah, I don't like. I agree. Like, obviously, VTM and World of Darkness in general is a dark, scary, evil place as a whole. But the crux of VTM as a storytelling game is the balance between still trying to be human and being a vampire. Just diving off into the evil vampire, you're getting rid of half the game almost.
Yeah. I know a lot of people also in our community are like, oh, Sabat, and I'm like, I literally don't ever want to play a Sabat unless it's like a one-shot, like, let's be the most evil possible for like Halloween. Like,
darkest timeline.
Yeah, they are meant to be like the evil boogeyman. That's like being like, yeah, I'm just gonna play a game as Al-Qaeda. It's like just diving off the deep end and being like, I will murder babies.
I mean, that's what the Sabat are. They are like vampire terrorists, more or less. Like, it's just I mean,
yeah, I think from my perspective, like if you have a person in the party who is playing more that evil line, then you kind of have like the other people to balance them. But when it's just everybody causing chaos, it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
You've got the entire party playing chaos, right? That's your, let's see how the other side lives. Like, that's a one shot. Like, you can't really make that into a campaign because it's just YOLO. Like,
I think from what we do, we try so hard to like make the characters that we have as people, like even like our new characters that we have, like Camille and Shoichi, it's like there's a lot more depth to those characters than you're gonna see in one episode, right? So it's like the things that you're gonna learn, like, oh my gosh, last episode with Oliver was like intense. I loved that, like learning about his kid and Dakota being like super suspicious of him and all that stuff. Like it drives people to be curious about what's happening rather than be like, oh, well, we know what's going to happen today. Chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's just...
I'm sure there will be episodes where chaos ensues. Like,
no shit. It's going to be wild.
Well, yeah, that of course there's always a build up to it and whatnot, and chaos is going to happen. But
yeah,
I don't know. To me, like, what's intriguing about World of Darkness games, and almost the theme runs through all of them, is just that balance between still being a good human and being whatever you've been turned into. And I feel like just throwing that away, it throws away a lot of the intrigue that can come from doing simple things. Like just for instance, last episode, Dakota talking to Oliver about his child. Just that one conversation, that one interaction was so layered and so tense. And it was, just a simple conversation, but because Oliver clings to his humanity like he does, it made something that could have been a throwaway conversation integral to Oliver's now outlook about Dakota and how they're going to be balancing one another.
Yeah, I like that this week you were like, I want to learn more about Dakota. I was like, ooh,
exactly.
That's a good move because like now she's all
wondering
snooping on you. You're like, why is she so curious about me?
Yeah, me and Tracy were talking about that, and we were both debating like how long before Butcher wants the other side, because we're like, Ollie's relatively clever. He will want the other side.
Not that long, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, like as soon as she's out the door, hi, Bookworm, we're gonna look into Dakota. I'm like, oh, this is our bonding experience, like spying on the other part of the group. Hi.
I mean, like, what better group to trust each other than a group that has no secrets anymore? You all know each other's secrets.
Yeah, but
so
normally it's like you want to tell each other the secrets, not I'm going to investigate you and find out all your deepest, darkest secrets, and they're doing the same thing.
Power plays. It's all about power plays.
It's all about power plays. What I want to say about the two of you, Maggie and Josh, what I wanted to say kind of earlier is that what I love, like, first of all, I was super nervous with this episode. Jumping in to even just episode 4 or 5 and now having to bring in 2 new characters already after the 4 of them have kind of almost gotten comfortable with one another. I'm always like, oh God, it's going to be sloppy. It's going to feel like not right. It's going to be like trying to put a square peg into a round hole. Like, how are we going to make this work? But you two did fucking great. And it was immediately apparent that the 2 of your characters had history. And that is very hard to do, I think, for a lot of people. But it was instant for me, at the very least. Just watching the 2 of you interact.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel forced
exactly.
either.
That's the problem. Like a lot of time when you like characters know each other, you very early on you're like, oh, do you remember that time when we did the so and so? Oh yes. This is we have backstory, giant spoiler section where the pop-up appears. But you did it without doing that, and it just felt natural.
We did it through like not even talking. It just
familiarity.
Actions.
It was just natural familiarity.
Yeah.
And, like you weren't giving each other the same attention as you would us, because you are assuming things from the other person, which is how it works in real life. Like, you don't say, oh, I know so-and-so because we've been through this. You just accept them there without referring to them. You are naturally at ease without having to do the same there and graces because you're around them. And that just came off you two instantly. I was like, that's really hard to do without body language.
I think what worked is we just discussed like kind of what we were thinking, and we were geeking out about it too much. We were having too much fun, to be honest. Yeah. It got me way too excited yesterday. I was like, oh my God, is it tomorrow yet?
Well, my one question, what do you guys think is in the book? If you had to guess, if you had to posit what information is in that book.
My Little Pony first edition.
Yeah. I'm thinking Book of the Grave War. Just a first guess.
Okay. Anybody else have any guesses? I'm just curious. I want to know where your heads are at.
I don't know enough about it.
The Anarchs and the
Camarilla want.
The Camarilla do not want.
No, they both want.
They both want, and they don't want the other person to know. Mm-hmm. It has to be some like old vampire shit. Like,
I would probably be with Josh on this one. I'm thinking Book of the Grave War if it's from an existing canon source.
Yeah. If it's a book, then that. Otherwise, I would imagine it's probably a book or a diary or something from a Methuselah that basically runs the city or something like that.
It probably runs a region. Like it's a big thing. And Methuselah 200 years ago.
I'm wondering if it has information on like one of the first vampires.
I was actually going to say maybe it's like a Ghoul's first-hand account of where the first or second or even third gens are resting.
Something like that.
That would be very valuable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's go take a road trip.
Let's go see an antediluvian. That's normal.
She's like 6th gen or something. No,
we don't know.
10th.
We don't know.
You don't know.
She's just old.
You took a guess. She's old.
Oh, we took a guess, right? I
have a plan that I want to tell you.
Knowing what gen we are too is interesting.
Josh, stay in the call after this after show.
Yeah,
we can talk.
So hypothetically speaking, if I stepped away, if I just completely bowed out, do you think the deal would be off the table?
It's a good question.
We need to reassess the deal, I'm sure.
Bubba, you
How,
gonna be here next
valuable
week?
do you think those comics?
Oh yeah, no. I'm definitely going to be here next week. I just
Ollie stepping out saying,
yeah.
Ollie doesn't want to be part of the blood bond. Here's the thing: we don't have to do the blood bond. We could give her something else that she'd want. It doesn't have to be the blood bond. We could give her like comics plus something else, but it has to be like some real juicy information.
Depending on a couple of things, I might be able to help Ollie out, but it'll be tough.
I feel like it's worth it to try to bring something to the table as each of us, since, I mean, obviously power is knowledge, and she may, based on how I was reacting, she may just see him, or she may see all of us as just children.
We need to give her an alternative to the Camilla
we are.
thing. That's
In comparison to her, she's definitely like an older gen.
Yeah,
that's why she even asked, like, she asked Saito, like, what's your life even worth to me?
Yeah. That's why I was taking the utmost care of like putting the comic books back very carefully and admiring the books, showing care and speaking about them so openly. That's something that's precious to him, even though he's not much of a reader. He holds on to what reading he has had very intensely.
She wants Saito at the bottom because she wants to have complete control of Saito.
Oh, definitely. Like someone that's like, oh, I want the thing.
I was surprised that she didn't have me lower.
You can be bonded. You just can't bond anyone else.
No, she wanted each person's separated by the other person from the other two, because we've got two twos. So she wanted them to be sect. So if Saito's at the bottom, you have to be number 3.
I almost picked the unbondable trait. I was this close. But
that'd be great. You'd be like, yeah, sure. I'm so bonded right now.
I have some stuff. I wonder if I don't think it affects bonds like that. I know it affects mind stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I think that you guys would do anything wrong, but in some of the groups that I've played games with, if they knew that they had that kind of power over someone, they would just ruin like
there are some groups that just wouldn't work in. It's one of those things like I think we've all played in groups like that where just like there are just certain things you just can't do because they're going to do everything in their power to leverage it against you and fuck the party because they think it's fun.
Especially between players, like against an NPC, sure, whatever.
Well, yeah, whatever. But players.
But even if like, I mean, there are ways to like fuck with your like teammates and make it like actually cool for the story versus like just being a dick. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, and I trust this group enough to not cross that line into dicketry, because that would just kind of. Like there's always supposed to be tension between you guys, constant tension, but there's never supposed to boil over to just ripping each other apart because that's just then there's
3-level blood bond. Camille, ask Ollie where his child is.
Yeah, I think that's my apprehension is that based on some of the actions, like from an outward perspective of seeing how Zach is like, well, let's find out about his child and all of these personal things. Like, oh hell no! Like you may as well just tell me to go kill myself because that would just be. That would take away every part of Ollie as a character, and it would be
if one of your convictions is like no one can own me type of thing, like then you would definitely not be cool with what we're saying.
Definitely not.
Well,
you can like we'll have a conversation about it when we're outside of this tower, and you should definitely speak up about that in character because I don't think anyone would force you into that. Like I know my character wouldn't. I don't know about other people, but
I would definitely encourage you. Because I'm super happy that I'm not directly controlled by anyone else. Like having Saito seen how you operate, he's like, whew, dodged 2 bullets there.
Yeah, he's more direct. But also, if easier worries, just Bub, like you not taking this offer was 100% in my mind. Like that is a possibility. Like there is a very good chance Ollie's gonna be like, no. That's part of the tension. That's why it's such an interesting offer. And moreover, like I can't say it. Never mind. It's a spoiler.
I was okay with like a 1st level blood bond. Like it's tough, but I could go with a cell. A 3rd level is just like that's asking the moon. Like you can't give more than a 3rd level blood bond because a 3rd level blood bond gets you everything. It's like, oh, give me your car, your wallet, your keys. Go kill your sire. Sure, I'll do all these things. It's like you cannot literally have anything more, ask anything more from someone.
Yep. It's an interesting situation, and I'm very excited to see what happens and what choices are made.
I think I would need to know what the book is minimum. I would probably be like, right, to know this, I need to know.
I rolled to not know what the bond was, so I didn't know how intense that bond is.
Well, you still know what a 3rd level blood bond is, right? Everyone knows what a...
You know the levels of blood bond, but the term vinculum, she did not know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping that would be a viable alternative for her. 'Cause-
What, her bond to us? Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, all of us just be best buds.
I would have just been like, right, that's got the Sabat, so we're gonna just edge
Out.
away.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Here's a
Goodbye.
big
I
Okay.
regret not
run.
asking her something else at the end there. But
Well, you had moments alone with her. If you want to throw
can
a
flashback.
question, if you want to flashback and throw me a question via PM.
okay.
It will
I'm happy
cost
to.
you what is it in Blades in the Dark? It'll cost you 1.
The flashback?
Yeah.
Oh, the flashbacks in
Flashback mechanic
Blades
Blades in the Dark. They
Oh.
cost you a whatever that resource is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Internet points.
I can't remember what it is either. It's
No,
Uh,
in Blades in the Dark, you actually have like a thing that you can spend
Yeah.
on going back and doing
It's
stuff,
basically
which I think is a cool system.
Yeah, like,
because
unlike
it
in
avoids having to
Shadowrun.
do all the planning stuff.
yeah.
You just get doing things.
And then you
Blades
just
in
and the
the
GM's
Dark.
like, yeah, you would have brought that. That's one
Yeah.
of the points. If it's like, yeah, I have people waiting outside this exact window where I'm going to dive out. It's like that's a bit of a stretch. That'll be 3.
What's interesting to me is like I didn't use like really anything.
No, you did. I was surprised. I thought you were going to go straight up to the bar lady and be like, "Hi,
Yeah, it's like,
presents."
I'm not really a presents person.
Oh, just
As much
dominate
as you
and
think I am,
fortitude.
I'm not.
Okay. You can dominate Zach any day, and I'm sure you've got fortitude. Actually, that's what happens after the episode.
I'm excited to see what happens next episode.
Yeah,
As
I'm
well.
excited to get
So-
Camille alone away from Saito. That's
Oh yeah.
something a minor thing that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
He's like, will she be alone though?
Probably Sarah, but I don't know if Camille's gonna let her live. I don't know if Camille's the kind of person who lets people live.
Maybe. No, I actually have a conviction that is kill only the unworthy.
Let's see if she's unworthy.
Yikes.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching the after show. It's a great episode. I really enjoy. Seriously, this show is just so much fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying.
I'm
Great.
glad I got to be a part of it. Thank you.
It was really fun.
I'm glad I got to play with you guys too.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're playing again next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, same time next week, everyone.
I think if we both get to be on for next week, that's gonna be really fun. And
They'll be
I'm
like,
excited.
"Hi, here's Dakota. What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like, oh, hi. Do we have to bring her? She smells.
Oh, don't worry. She won't be there for the final bartering night, I promise.
What?
No,
She
she will not be
busy.
there. She's busy doing something right now. She'll be back obviously next week and
Yeah.
stuff. But the first hour,
He's also creeping on Bub too, which is weird.
Everybody's creeping on each other. Welcome to Vampire.
Vampires be creeping.
Bunch of
Anyway,
creeps.
thank you very much for watching. And until next time, may the dice roll ever in your favor.
Goodbye.